we are giving away a professor's research. All you have to do to enter is like, comment, and subscribe, and we will be picking a winner on Saturday. We'll see you then. Bong, let's go. Top 4, we have Riolu and a Darkrai start. And then we have a Pumpkin Boo start. So Pumpkin Boo is definitely one of the best starts that you can get if you are playing this deck right here, for sure. Riolu is not so much that hot because at the end of the day, you're being threatened to get hit by 70. You don't want to get hit by 70. So the copycat here is going to allow Dugs to find a X speed and maybe an Igglybuff, or even just the Igglybuff is good enough. Oh my god, the Igglybuff is the plot armor here because you have literally, those are the best 4 cards in this scenario that you could draw in order to pop off, because even if the Gourgeist comes in here, pop off, it needs 1 energy to swing. And it's going to eat that up. And even if he has a Swablu, Swablu's not going to be able to get online fast enough here, which is rather unfortunate for Kabusu right here. That is kind of wild, I'm not going to lie. That is plot armor. Alright, go in with the professor's research. That was kind of clutch for him, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, let's put him. Let me pick something sick. Alright, going into the Gourgeist here. Gourgeist is pretty strong. Gonna be able to attack for 70 real quick here. Get the free point. But the Lucario is definitely here to get that free revenge knockout. So it either becomes he stalls out by sacrificing maybe 1 more Pumpkin Boo. But like, even having the Darkrai and going for another sleep play is also really a good potential, you know, a potential like play that could come up, because he does play double Igglybuff. So now the problem here, Kabusu is 1 energy, you know, behind. So you either gotta really commit it to the Swablu or nothing. So that could be telling. You do have access to the cards that you need here. The simple fact that it could hit for 20 more damage is insane. If he gets the Karina, oh my god. No way. Sabrina is a win con here. Sabrina is definitely a win con. Because now he just puts an energy and swings. No, he doesn't even have to do that. He hits for 140 and he's good. Boom. Showing you that Lucario is just simply a super strong deck and dominant. Like, you can't like not play this, you know? Okay, we're dropping everything on the board. Hitting for 150 damage is insane. Gonna drop the Sabrina with no hesitation, and that's gonna be game number 1 going to Doug's Lucario and Igglybuff. Sleep Scam, as we call it. Now that's kind of crazy, if you ask me. Here we are, heading into game number 2. Who's your money on? Are you guys rooting for Gorgeist Altaria, or are you guys rooting for Lucario Sleep? Lucario Sleep is still a valid deck. Lucario Sleep is very valid. Here we go. Alright, so starting off with Riolu, kind of rough, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, you do have access to the research and Copycat to, you know, fix your hand. If you're able to, like, find what you need here, like the last game, I think you could really pop off. No matter who you are. But, you know, that is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Drawing into Lucario, I think it might be nice to play the Copycat in this situation because you literally have 4 cards, so what you're doing here is basically replenishing your hand. You do have access to the Lucario, but the thing is, you know, if he has a Gorgeist, you automatically lose the Riolu if you don't draw another basic, so you kind of force the Copycat in this situation for sure. It might pay off. I'm not gonna lie. It might pay off. Unfortunately, it did not pay off. It's because the Riolu is just chilling there and, you know, I don't know. Is he thinking that he's just gonna go ballsy and swing and pray that he doesn't have access to it? Or is he just gonna go Igglybuff Sleep? Because, like, if he waits for the Igglybuff, there is a chance he could pivot into his, you know, Sleep Scam. So, he's never going to get the Lucario online again, so it's going to be insane. Okay, it does look like they do have the Altaria right here popping off. They had access to the Gorgeist, so they're gonna have to discard a card, which is gonna be Chingling for sure. It does look like he scoops it up and he's going to move into the next game. All right, here we go. Game number 3. Who's gonna take it? Is it gonna be Altaria or is it gonna be Lucario? Definitely looking a little tough here, I'm not gonna lie. Looks like we're gonna get rid of the X speed for sure and then get max value from Copycat that you can from this first turn. Definitely trying to look for that Darkrai. Hopefully, there we go. Now he can start popping off with the sleep scan plays here. And starting in the following turn, you could definitely start stacking up that Riolu. So it does look like potentially this Pumpkin Boo is going to be knocked out in the next round for sure. And it doesn't wake up, so in the following turn, it's going to take an additional 20. Not like it actually matters because he's definitely going to get knocked out for sure. So starting off with double Altaria and the Comfy here. The Comfy is huge because sleep is not a real thing. It is not a real threat anymore. I think, damn. He's definitely in a tough position because he already researched. Could get rid of that, get rid of more cards so his opponent doesn't get his own value from Copycat. Being protected here, you guys could see the Comfy is super strong. There is one thing I will say. This Copycat is gonna go hard because he's gonna have access to Mega Lucario, maybe the Karina. So whenever the Mega Altaria pops out, he could just go for game. But the problem is, you do not want to activate the field, because if you activate the field and your opponent has Training Arena, you're kind of cooked. I think you have to Copycat in this situation. How many cards does he have? 8 cards. 8 and 8. Rough. Because if you play the field, you get bumped and then you're no longer at that threshold of 190. He's gonna do it anyways. But that gives him 2 turns to look for that Training Arena. Gives him 2 turns. But he does have another win con, which is Sabrina. There is the Karina. There is the Karina. The other win con is definitely Sabrina. No way. I wonder how many cards he has left in his deck right now. 3 cards. If he draws that one Sabrina, I think it's insane. It would be kind of insane. This is huge. We gotta see what Kabasu does here. Going for the research. He did go opt-in going in with the Swablu with the energy. I'm just saying, if he doesn't have Training Arena, he's in a tough spot. Are we going to see the retreat? Or are we going to go for sleep? Oh no. Oh no. What are we gonna see here? More stall? It stays asleep. That's huge. That is huge. Going in with the... That's kind of insane. I would have imagined maybe giving that to the Altaria so the Altaria doesn't get knocked out by the Karina. Would have been a nice play here. But I mean, technically now he has one free energy to put damage on the Mega Lucario, so it doesn't look like the Sabrina... That sleep play was kind of crucial for Kabatsu here. Definitely in a tough position here because 4 cards left. You're literally looking at a Cyrus loose con right now. Your Igglybuff sleep is not going to do anything of value here. Even if you swap into the Lucario, it's just you're not in a good position here. I think he gives up a Swablu, the one with no energy. Gotta move quick. 45 seconds on the clock. Right now, he has to pray. He literally has to pray that he doesn't have a training arena. Or Cyrus. Cyrus being the main one. Does he have the Cyrus? Cyrus is here, and Mega Altaria is moving on to the Grand Finals. Good games, good games. That was kind of insane. Yo, I couldn't ask for a better top 4. That was kind of insane. One of the players that we are actually waiting